So then the next most logical thing when it comes to intensity might be to actually talk about how do we find out what exactly intensity is. And a couple of ways we probably go about this, and I think the first way might be to explain some commonly used forms of measuring intensity. I think the big one that most people will be familiar with, dripping sweat everywhere, would be repetition maximum. Okay, so thanks to the recommended question, hopefully this is the beginning of a complicated into a simple answer. So repetition maximum, very, very simple. It is as it sounds. What's the maximum amount of load you can put on the bar for any given number of repetitions? And that's an important distinction to make. Yeah, repetition maximum isn't exclusive to 1 RM. That 1 RM is just indicative of one repetition maximum. You can use 5 RM, you can use 10 RM, you can use 20 RM. They're all measures of intensity. If we're starting to talk about, in inverted commas, true intensity, as in, say, proximity to your absolute ability to shift some sort of external load, the further you move away from a 1 RM, the less accurate it becomes. That makes sense, right? So with every extra repetition you add to your test or experiment, the more variability may exist between subsequent repetitions. That's not to say that 10 RM isn't useful. Plenty of populations, 10 RM is super useful. Talking about usability, though, leads us into the next sort of question or explanation of when or why we might use RM. Repetition maximum is, at the very, very fundamental level, is, I think, used firstly to benchmark, secondly, to demonstrate to you or the athlete, and or the coach, I guess, to a degree as well, what a certain weight feels like. Okay, this gives you an opportunity. We'll talk about RPE and reps in reserve in subsequent videos, but high or low, rather low RM, so low's in the number, not the effort. So 1 or 2 or 3 RM efforts gives us an opportunity, if it's a genuine 1 RM, to really understand what the hell shifting the maximum amount of load I can shift feels like. And that helps me build a little bit of a library and understanding around about rating of perceived exertion, which we'll talk about soon. And then thirdly, it's prescriptive. Okay, so let's maybe just condense that there.